And now we're getting in news that the Ministry of External Affairs has confirmed that Geeta, who has been stranded in Pakistan for the last 15 years, is all set to return to India. She will be brought back to India shortly, and the process of identifying the family is still underway. Geeta is an Indian citizen who was forced to live in Pakistan after she accidentally crossed the border. Let's get in a quick word from India Today's Gaurav Sawant for more on this. Gaurav, what are the details that you're hearing from the ministry? Have they been able to trace her family members?
Sources in the government have told India Today that Geeta has recognized some pictures that were sent to her in Pakistan, and based on those pictures, she has recognized her family. But it isn't as if she's going to come back to India just tomorrow, because now steps are being taken to cross-check all the information that has come out. Government of India will cross-check all these details, and then moves are being initiated together by Government of India and Government of Pakistan to bring Geeta home. The effort is on, Avantika, to ensure this happens as quickly as possible, but government sources are unwilling to give a timeline as to when Geeta will come back home. But this is indeed a very positive step forward.
Oh, absolutely. Our senior editor Javed Ansari also joins us for more. So Javed, there's still some time before Geeta, arrives on Indian soil. But just tell us, how does this happen from here on? Like, where will she be staying till her family members are not traced, and where will she, who will she be with till the time they're not able to find out who her real relatives are?
Avantika, I'm not so sure if she will be flown back before the process of completely identifying her family members is through.
Okay.
Right now, what has happened is that she has identified, she has pointed to some photographs who she says, to who she claims are her family members. Now the government of India is going through the process of identifying, talking to the family, talking to others concerned to prove conclusively that these people indeed are the family members. Once that is done, they will fly her back and try and reunite her with the family. No date for her return has been fixed as yet. This is what the Ministry of External Affairs has told us a while ago.
Javed, this is a story that has really transfixed both the countries with, so many similarities to the Salman Khan hit film. But if we speak about real life, the Ministry of India really, pursuing this case and ensuring that Geeta does come back home and comes back home to the right people, her own family members.
Yes, that's the concern for the government of India, that while they've identified Geeta, they've done everything, they've spoken to Pakistan, got all the assurances, so all the process is in place for her to return, but they want to be sure that she comes back and returns to her real family members, because there have been more than one family which has come forward and said that yes, Geeta belongs to them. Now the government is trying to make sure that they get to the real family, that they need to cross-check facts before they bring Geeta back and hand them over to the family.
All right, Javed, Gaurav, thank you both so much. Let me just get in a quick word from Maha Siddiqui. Maha, are you hearing any other additional information from your sources about, Geeta's possible return to India? And also just tell us a little bit about this photograph that was shown to her where she seems to have recognized the faces.
Initially Geeta had been shown the map of India, and she had been asked to point out from which state she could perhaps belong to. Remember, it was really little when she crossed over to Pakistan. She's also deaf and dumb, and therefore it is difficult to communicate with her in the normal sense. So she really has to, use sign language and explain things to people. So in the map, she had pointed out particular states, and the MEA had been looking at these states and had been asking for the whereabouts of Geeta, had been checking records to see if somebody had gone missing. There was a missing complaint filed, and basis that there was one family that we knew had claimed that Geeta was their daughter who had gone missing at one point. Now their photographs were collected and they were sent to the Indian High Commission in Pakistan, and we believe that those pictures were sent across to Geeta, and Geeta has in fact now recognized her parents looking at the picture. It's great news coming in for Geeta, who has been really desperate to be reunited with her family after several years. There have been searches made for years now for Geeta's family. Sushma Swaraj, the External Affairs Minister, had immediately after this story had re-emerged some time back, said that all facilities will be made for Geeta to come back to India and for her to be reunited with her family. So once all the details are confirmed, we understand that going by the promise that has already been made, Geeta's return to India will be facilitated.
All right, Maha, let's get in a quick word from Smita Sharma also. Smita, what are you hearing from your sources? Because we do know that Geeta so far is being looked after, by the IDHI Foundation, and the entire task to reunite Geeta with her real parents, her real family members, has been a Herculean task for the Ministry of External Affairs. And the fact that, if at all, she has recognized her family is, a big victory for the Indian government.
Well, yes, absolutely. The task was perhaps challenging as trying to find a needle in a haystack, because when Geeta crossed over to Pakistan, she was a very young kid. Today, she's a woman of at least 20, 21 years old, if that is indeed her real age. She has been living with that AT home in Karachi, the NGO, for almost the last 15 years now. So, when this matter surfaced, because this had also actually raised by Ansar Berni, the international human rights activist, on his last India visit around 3-4 years back. That's also when India Today had actually played out that story. But it was around this time that the story gained more momentum, especially after the release of the film Bajrangi Bhaijan, when media picked up the story and said that Geeta needs her own Bajrangi Bhaijan to find her way home. So Sushma Swaraj stepped in. She ensured that the High Commissioner, Mr. Raghavan, flew into Karachi immediately with his wife, Ranjana, so that, Geeta would be comfortable talking to a woman as well. And all these photographs that were sent to her with all these families who came forward claiming Geeta as their daughter once this news was out in the media houses. We do know that there were families from Rajasthan, from Jharkhand, from Bihar, and what we are picking from our sources is that it's actually that it's to be a set of parents and her grandparents as well.